All right, on that note, we'll get started.
We're done with family updates.
We'll call to order the Village Council regular meeting Tuesday, July 8th, 2025 at 7 p.m. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Cook,
Here.
Ross,
Here.
Kemp. Yeah. Nicosia.
Here.
We have a quorum. Item number 4, approval of the agenda. I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda, and that will be at item number 5, presentation. There'll be A, proclamation and presentation to Maureen Hellmuth, and then
No.
B will be the Lone Ranger Fund.
Vote no.
Second. Okay, motion by Cook, seconded by, was that Ross? Yes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. The agenda is amended. So then we'll move to item 5, presentations. And first up is our proclamation to Maureen Hellmuth. So I am going to read a certificate of appreciation from Village Council to you, Mo. And then I also have a document with some well wishes from various people you'll recognize around the village, and I'll let you take both home, but read that on your own time. So this certificate of appreciation is presented to Maureen Mo Hellmuth in recognition and appreciation of her dedicated service to the Village of Oxford and the greater Oxford community. Throughout her many years of service, Maureen Hellmuth has served with distinction on the Village Council, the Village Planning Commission, the Oxford Area Cable Commission, Communications Commission, and various other committees and initiatives that have contributed to the betterment of our community. Mo's one-of-a-kind perspective, quick wit, and fearless honesty has always brought something special to the council table. Whether offering historical context, asking the tough questions, or delivering a well-timed quip, she kept things interesting. Her deep knowledge of village happenings, past and present, will be impossible to replace and certainly missed. The Village of Oxford extends its sincere gratitude to Mrs. Hellmuth for her steadfast commitment and lasting contributions. We wish her continued success and fulfillment in the next chapter of her life. Dated this 8th day of July 2025 and signed by all 4 council members today. So, Mo, do you want to come up and grab this from us?
No, but you will. Joe, go down here.
Can we get maybe we can come around and get a picture, stand up here? And then I'll give you that too.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. And then I'll give you this.
Mo, before you sit down, I'd like to present something from the police department.
Oh, yeah, you're not done. Take that with you too.
This one's gonna be hard.
We appreciate all your support in this town.
No, yes, no, yes.
Thank you for all your support throughout all these years. May I borrow it one day?
You got it, okay. I think my father known each other for 30 years.
Long time, yeah. I think you were there when I was born, right?
I was there, I said, Butch, I just want to say, I've been in council for a long time. You guys are absolutely best. You guys all have different opinions, you have different backgrounds. You think it through, you vote your conscience. Please start turning out crosswalks. And that's all I can, you guys are great. And it's Bob, 30 years, 40 years?
It's going there.
I've been with the village for 40 years. 39 too many. But 40 years.
I started in 91,
I started in 85.
right?
And you guys have been great, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo.
So what street did you take the stop sign off of, Chief?
Mo's.
Mo's? Dayton Street to pass through now?
Was it a stop sign she voted against?
Yeah.
Is that the one your son ran into?
All right. Our next presentation this evening is, I believe, CJ Carnaccio is going to come up, and the Village of Oxford works in partnership with Oxford Township all the time. And so recognizing the township's efforts regarding the Lone Ranger and a lot of historical markers and significance that especially CJ has worked on across the community. The Village of Oxford wanted to make a donation from our Lone Ranger Fund here to the efforts that CJ is leading at the township. So I do have a check that I can present. And council wants to come around again.
You take that picture with me.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me carry that with me.
Oops, sorry.
Carry that.
Thank you. Official.
It's good.
Thank you. I want to thank you very much. Thank you very much, council.
Thank you.
Good luck with the room.
Use your poll to get that picture in the paper.
That's why I grew all the hair from this color.
Good job.
All right. Next is public hearings. We have none this evening, so we'll move on to call to public. This is a time for anyone in the public who would like to address council. Feel free to step up to the podium about any issue. Seeing no one headed to the podium, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Item 8A are receive and file items.
Motion to receive and file consent agenda items A, 1 and 2, correspondence letters and department reports.
Second.
Okay, motion by Nicosia, seconded by Ross. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Motion carries. Next is 8B are approval items.
I'll make the motion to receive and file items 8B, 1, 2, and 3, and the bills in the amount of $469,000, $518.01.
Support. Okay, is that, you said receive and file, is that approved?
Approve the bills in the amount of.
Okay, thank you.
You'll get that.
Okay, that was seconded by Kemp.
Rely on you so much.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Ross,
Yes.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
Motion carries, those are approved. Next is our unfinished old business under item 9. A, council vacancy discussion and candidate interview consideration. So, as anyone can see, council is a fun group. We do get a lot of stuff done too. So, I'd like to welcome Regina Knock, if you don't mind going up to the podium.
Well, she's one of the people I couldn't think of.
Missed your opportunity.
I didn't know her. Give me a meeting.
Thank you so much for your interest in Village Council. We do have your letter and your resume in front of us, but I just wanted to give each council member a chance to ask you a question, if that's okay, and anything you wanted to share.
Yeah.
So I can kind of start us off. Could you tell us a little bit about your background?
So I grew up in East Point, and I have moved around a little bit, and I have a CPA practice in Lake Orion Capricorn Professional Advisors that I had merged my own CPA practice into, and I needed to find a good place to put down roots. So I decided that Oxford was a really nice place to fall in love with. I now own a historical house at 67 Pontiac, and it was one of those dreams come true. Like you always want, to be part of something and be able to continue on the legacy, and I'm just thrilled to have the house. A lot of work, but it's it's been really nice because it's given me a lot of purpose. So I've spent my whole life is the house and the practice, and there's something that's missing. So that's where I think getting involved with the community and having that engagement is something that I'm excited and I'm ready to do, because I'm at a point in my life that I'm looking for that connection between myself and others.
Great, thank you. Any other questions from council?
Hi neighbor. What's been your favorite project so far in your house?
The landscaping, for sure. It's one of those things that I knew, moving plants is pretty cheap, and everything else with that house is not. So, but I really thought that it was really important because of the lack of landscaping and how the house was kept up on the outside, that I really wanted to make a big impact.
Yeah.
So 80 bags of mulch later, we're doing good. But it's, I think between that and starting to get to know the neighbors, it's been like I said, my life is just the house and work, but I want to say that, getting to know everyone around here and being able to spend Friday nights in downtown Oxford has just been just an absolute blessing, because it's something that I've never had before and that I've always wanted, and one of those dreams come true kind of things.
Thanks.
I know it's represented in your resume, but could you speak a little bit about your experience with government and boards?
Yes, so I have been on 2 different nonprofit boards, the Hospitality House Food Pantry and the Lakes Area Community Coalition, where I was the treasurer. It's kind of like the Oakland Community Coalition. And I used to live in Commerce for a while, so again, kind of being more civic minded, let me get involved with the community where I'm living. And it was nice because, being a CPA, we have to be analytical, we have to be thoughtful, but we are also able to understand the emotions that come with working with boards and clients and neighbors. And, one of the big things that we do in our business is business advisory services. We end up being a counselor more than, the taxes don't matter at the end of the day. People just want to know that things are being taken care of. So a lot of my time was spent making sure that all the boards that I have been on and all the boards that we currently do, some nonprofit clients, that they understand what's going on. I want them to ask questions. And I think that getting that understanding gets more buy-in, and I think it makes for more comprehensive decision-making. As for working in government services, my co-op job in high school was working for the city of East Point in their clerk's office. So I've worked in their clerk's office, and I've worked for the city of Royal Oak in their clerk's office. I promised one of the old managers that I would go back to East Point for every election to be a precinct chairperson. So I've been doing that for about 20 years now. So have seen how the elections work, and have been able to work with the clerk with trying to get my recommendations implemented when it comes for security and operations, and trying to keep things smoothly on that end. So, yeah.
So you answered, frankly, what I was wondering about wonderfully.
Yes.
But is there something that has surprised you about Oxford since moving here?
I've never been part of a small town. But I think that the friendliness that in a lot of the relationships that I've been able to build over the past 4 or 5 years since I merged my practice in Lake Orion. It's been wonderful. And, you know, that was, like I said, that's the connection that I know I was missing. And I think that was something that I didn't really know how small towns work, and you kind of have an idea how it is, but, you know, at the same time, there's something wonderful about knowing your neighbor and kind of knowing the background, and I think that that's really important to build that community. So was I a little bit scared? Yeah, I hear stories, but, you know, honestly, I mean, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're nice to everyone, and pleasant and responsible, and you don't have anything to worry about.
Any other questions from council? Okay. Well, thank you. How fortunate are we to have such an amazing candidate to consider? So we really appreciate your time, and I'll make a motion to appoint Regina Knox to village council to fulfill the term vacated by Maureen Helmuth, which, do you know that year end?
Next year, isn't it? 24?
Here's-
Or 26, I mean, 26.
She's through 2026.
Okay, through 2026.
I'll support your motion.
Okay, motion by Cook, seconded by Kemp. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
All right, Cook,
Yes?
Kemp,
Yes.
Nicosia,
Yes.
and Ross.
Yes. Okay, well, motion carries.
Okay, have a seat.
No.
You have to come see the, get sworn
Thank
in.
you guys very much
Yeah.
for the opportunity and everything. I've put down roots, and I'm really excited to see what I can do to help everyone out and kind of make my mark.
Yeah.
Keep Oxford, like I said. So,
Absolutely.
Make some time to come in and get sworn in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll reach out to you. You could get
Yep.
sworn in. Hopefully be able to attend the August meeting.
Yes,
So
yes.
jump right in. But
All right, well, thank you guys very much, I appreciate it.
thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Not a creepy way, I was admiring when you had your roofers out, and then when you applied, I was like, oh.
Very nice.
Thank you, Ross.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
I'll swear you in.
Yes, yes.
We're trying.
Don't listen to the lady in the back row.
Don't call me.
All right, we'll move on to our other unfinished business, and that's the Park Street project update.
I left it on there, of course, because it is old business. We're meeting again tomorrow. Paul, Mr. Davis, myself, and another representative from Row. So nothing new to add at this point.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It continues.
Okay. Anything from council before we move on? Okay. 10 new business. A is Clinton River Watershed Coalition contract renewal consideration.
It's been like 5 years since we did this before. I think it was 2019. No, or 2020 maybe. I think it was 19. But anyways, it's a 5-year renewal. Clinton River provides us a lot of the documentation and the pamphlets and brochures to help us with our watershed and our MS4 permit, which is a permit for discharging surface waters to the state of Michigan. So it's very helpful. And they even do offer, I think, some of the classes that DPW guys can check into here and there for some of their stormwater training stuff too. So it's a good partnership, and it's a 5-year renewal in front of us. I think it's got a 5% annual increase in it, but it's still a nominal amount. It's like $1,000 a year, if I remember right. Trying to go back to my memory of last week reading it.
It's like $500 on signing, and then $1,000 every
Because it's
year.
staggered, I think they were changing it, getting off on the same one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be $1,000 a year, April 1, 2026.
Okay.
The thing about this, this organization is it's a wealth of knowledge and information. And I think their main criticism of the communities is people don't call them enough. And if you guys have any questions and you reach out to these people, you'll be amazed at the amount of information you can get about watershed and other issues in the water area. And they're always receptive. They're always receptive, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've been good to work with.
I'll make a motion to approve the Clinton River Watershed Coalition contract as presented.
Support.
Motion by Cook, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion?
I really like what they do with education. It's a good organization, I think. It's worth it. We need to continue that education in the public, so I'm for it.
Thank you. Any further comment from council? Okay, hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cook,
Yes,
Nicosia,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
motion carries to approve. Next is 10B, the consideration of note credits transfer contract with Smart.
Kind of a similar situation, that over the years, we get certain credits through Smart, through the county, and then we transfer those for the use, that NOTA uses on our behalf. So it's just time to redo that again. I know NOTA is currently going through a renewal of their contract or their agreement that we have with them. So the draft's been out there, I think, but not ready to take any action on that yet.
They've circulated their revised interlocal
Okay.
Yeah.
agreement. I know you, I think you provided comments, right?
Actually,
Yeah.
mhm.
So that'll be coming before the council soon.
Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to approve note credit transfer contract with Smart.
Support. Motion by Ross, seconded by Kemp. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Do a roll call vote?
Kemp,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Cook.
Yes. Motion carries. It's approved. 10C is our next item. That's the Oxford Lakes Drive resurfacing project, Phase 1 contract award consideration.
All right, we had the bid opening on the last Monday, I think it was. Yep, and 4 bidders. Pretty good pricing on all of them. The bid tab is in your packet, as well as a recommendation letter from Paul O'Mara here from Rowe. I think the last time we discussed this around budget time, we were estimating around 275-ish for the project. The fact that we're coming in at 224, just under 225, is good for us. Long-time contractor, and so we're anxious. And we kind of came to us rather quickly that the contractor seems anxious to get moving on it sooner rather than later, so we would like to move on it and get it done perhaps during the school year as well. Well, summer vacation, I mean, before the school year. So, yeah, we would recommend still to award it to the ASI Paving as directed.
Make a motion to award the Oxford Lakes Drive resurfacing project to the Asphalt Specialist LLC with the price at $224,824 as recommended by our engineer from Rowe.
Support.
A motion by Cook, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion?
I have one question.
Yep.
Because the bid is so much lower than what we're anticipating, can we get any of that additional work added in?
I don't think so at this time because the scope is already clearly defined, but if you do remember, we did talk, I think, after budget, maybe, we have some work on Lincoln Street with some flooding at Mechanic that we're looking to maybe roll into some work that may have been happening with the Washington Square, the South Washington Triangle, the 32-unit condo development. They were hoping to get some of that underground work done during this summer season, where the school wasn't, because it's right next to the school. That's not going to happen. We were hoping to piggyback some extension of our storm drain down Lincoln towards M24 while they were there digging. We still may now just try to go forward to get that repair done this summer ourselves. It's about 300 feet, I think, of storm sewer. It has to be extended down Lincoln to tie into the ones that go to M24 already to alleviate that. So that's another local street. Our local street fund is the one that doesn't have much money that we keep subsidizing with our general fund dollars. This will, if there's 40 grand left over here, will help us perhaps handle that issue over on Lincoln and Mechanic. I think it's much more needed.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
Motion carries, that is approved. 10D is a special event application.
And you saw the letter that I included and a little bit of a background on it. I did email the folks who sent me the letter requesting them to complete an application and try to get it to me today by this evening's meeting, but I have not received it. I mean,
Okay.
I've checked. So I don't know where it stands, because they want to do it on August 2nd, which is before the next meeting. Other than what was in that letter, I don't have a lot of the details
Okay.
that might normally be there.
That's the letter from one of the local businesses.
Yes,
Okay.
from the owners of 2 South and 6 South there, from the
Okay.
Cassandra and Company Boutique and owner of the Wild and Rooted.
Okay.
You've spoken to either of them about this?
No, other than this letter came, they say she was, Kimberly may have.
Yeah, can you come up? Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe, I don't want
I'd say, I know you were involved, it came from you, I think, to me, the letter, and then I followed up the email and said, okay, I have your letter, and I sent her an application, a special event application requesting her to get completed. I even checked all my junk folders and stuff today, I haven't heard anything back. But this was just Wednesday of last week that I think we got it.
Yeah, so what my understanding is, the event would be a wellness event. It's partnered with an anniversary from 2 of our businesses, Wild and Rooted and Scott's Toys. They would be celebrating 1 year and 5 years of being in business in downtown. They wanted to partner all together as a quad and host some wellness activities. So I believe that in the park, they were hoping to have a yoga instructor and then do some yoga classes throughout the day. And then also there was a portion, I don't know if it's included in the letter, but to block off a portion of the parking lot behind Scott's Toys, Modern Marketplace, Wild and Rooted as well, to have some space for vendors. Similar, we did it similar to Scarecrow Fest, I think it was 2 years ago. We closed that space out for vendors for our market.
And that parking area is owned by the village there?
Yeah, it's just on the east side of the Monogram shop there as it exits out onto East Burdick.
Okay.
Yeah, the one way.
And that's what I say, I'm not sure if they want to close off that whole exit or just some of the spaces, so that part wasn't real clear to me.
I believe it was to close the full, so people weren't traveling through
Okay.
the vendors. They would just close it off completely
Okay.
and not allow people to exit through that space.
And that's something we would require more than just, I mean, the special event application has insurance and
Yep.
liability waiver and things
Yeah.
that we would need.
Yes.
So,
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very complicated and out of bounds what we normally would approve, I just don't have all the details. I mean, you guys could approve it contingent upon us working it all out with the details and making sure we get everything.
Yeah.
And they are aware, the businesses are aware that there would be additional approvals by the fire department and police department.
Yeah,
Well, you could do a conditional approval, but it would have to be for an application that seeks no waivers, because you're the only body that can issue the waiver, and you won't have time to do that. So
Okay.
if you wanted to say positive on this conditional approval, let administration vet out the application, but the application can't be seeking any waivers, otherwise that has to come back to you.
yeah, and being that they both have businesses and have business insurance, it should be relatively simple for them.
It shouldn't be a,
Right.
And then the other was just a $100
right.
deposit thing anyway, so.
Okay.
I believe last we checked, there was no other event applications for that date.
Right. So you mentioned something about in the park too. I know they talked a little bit in there of what health and wellness activities, but I didn't, in the letter, I didn't see anything in the park. So if they want to do it in park too, that's okay.
So Vicki had sent them the actual application.
Okay.
For them to complete as well.
So for council, I mean, I'm inclined to allow the conditional approval if they meet everything. I don't know what anybody else's thoughts are. So I hate to not allow the event just because of the council meeting.
Sounds like a great event. I want to go.
Yeah.
So.
I'd love to see you there.
We want to see you do yoga.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Does council need any more information before we make a motion? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the special event request, condition on the village manager's review and receipt of an actual special event application that complies with all the village requirements and does not seek a waiver as to the deposit or insurance requirements.
Support.
A motion by Cook, seconded by Garcia. Any discussion?
I think obviously all the businesses have to be on board with this. It sounds like they are. So I think that's the concern other than the waiver and the insurance. So, sounds like a fun event.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote on this, please.
All right, Nicosia,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
and Cook.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carries, that is approved.
Thank you, Council.
That being said, I don't love the press.
I don't either. It was Wednesday last week that it came. That's the day I was putting together the application.
That's what gave me some hesitancy, not the time itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great, but I just think you contacted them over and over again.
I sent it to him Wednesday and said, all right, you don't
I
rate.
know, but you've been in contact, we've been in contact,
Yeah.
like that's.
I had another one called today, wanted to, for something, but I said, we can't do it tonight. Get me something and we can approve it at the August meeting.
Yeah, it can't be verbal alone. I mean, the fact that there was a letter helps, but yeah, Kimberly, do you mind communicating the message
About timing?
about just
Getting your stuff in.
getting stuff?
Absolutely. I think it's not known to the business owners
Yeah.
or anyone who's interested in reserving the park or having a special event. I don't think they understand the timeframes.
Right.
So I'm happy to communicate to the visitor.
Thank you so much. All right, 10E is the Oxford Lakes Drive Construction Services Agreement.
All right, council, and I did have a little memo there today, and then Paul Mayer and sent me the item 10E, which is on the dais here when you arrived. One of the things we were, kind of surprised with in a heavy way is that if ASI was approved, that they were going to want to do this work relatively soon. And so normally we would have, 4 or 5 weeks, maybe bring something back to you at our next meeting, but it sounds like perhaps they want to be well into the project by then. So we had to kind of shorten up our timeline a little bit to get the reviews done and get the stuff over, and Paul had to work on some things to get us the agreement. For the Moyers project, when we approved that project, council was contingent upon the contract language being approved by Mr. Davis and myself, and we're still working through one aspect of that and the limitations of liability. So rather than trying to wait for that to get done, we wanted to get something approved tonight. So Paul suggested, and I think it makes good sense, to just amend the current contract we have with Rowe for the Oxford Lake Drive project. We already have a contract in place with them for the design and engineering. Part of that contract does allow for additional work to be added in under that contract. So what's proposed to us tonight is to add the additional construction engineering services as outlined in item 10E in front of you today, at a not to exceed price of $27,500, and that would be just as an amendment to the existing Oxford Lake Drive resurfacing contract that we have in place.
So it's just a change order for construction administration and
Yeah.
conservation?
Yes.
Okay. I think the rates were like around 180 for the engineering services and then 115 for the observation. The hours seemed appropriate too for the 2.5 week timeline, so.
And
I guess the question is what happens if they don't meet that, I guess would be my main question.
Well, I think maybe they're under that too. If the weather's good and they get rolling good, that's one of the things that and Paul's wrestled with a little bit, to try to, like last year's Park Street project. They estimate it to be X amount of weeks. We sit down at the pre-construction meeting, everyone agrees it's going to be X amount of weeks. Next thing you know, it's twice as many weeks.
Right.
Well, they're trying to give us an upfront cost, what they think it's going to cost, and it's completely out of their control. So those things will happen, of course. But I think this 2.5 weeks is quite doable. The paving section is smaller; it's reduced, as we remember, to a first phase. I think he's kind of being maybe a little generous with the 2.5 weeks. I'm thinking maybe if it's a good week, they could get it done in 2, perhaps. So
Okay.
if it goes over, we have the not to exceed price in here. So I don't know at that point. If it's a problem, they have to manage their time a little bit better too. If the contractor's not going to be out there doing anything pertinent that day, maybe they don't have to be there that day. We've done that in the past too. If they're just moving stuff around and not putting stuff in the ground, we try to minimize the on-site cost.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment number 1 to the contract for engineering construction services for the Oxford Lakes Drive resurfacing project with Rowe as presented and reviewed by Mr. Davis.
Support.
Motion by Cook, seconded by Nikita. Any discussion or further questions?
I would just say that if we can get it done in that time, this sounds fantastic, and I think the hours seem appropriate on it too, so, no concerns here other than.
And we're happy to hear that the contractor's anxious to get it going, not pushing us off till, late in the year.
Absolutely. Okay, and that does have the not to exceed amount in there, so as presented, and I think it was 27,500, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Kemp,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Nicosia.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, that's approved. Item 11 are items removed from the consent agenda, which are none this evening. 12 is our second opportunity for public comment, so if anyone would like to address council, please feel free to step up to the podium.
I have
Okay. Moving right along. 13, committee reports. A is NODA.
Yeah, so I had sent that draft off to you. It's still with NODA's attorneys, so I'm sure there'll be something different coming your way at some point, but we are not meeting until August. If by chance we get a draft earlier, I'll be sure to send it along.
Wonderful, thank you. Planning Commission. We don't have anybody currently liaison to Planning Commission,
Right.
so we can,
But I'm there they're working on the ordinance, looking at the sign ordinance and
Okay.
stuff. So
Yeah,
the
we met.
planner is looking at that,
3 weeks ago, whatever it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And to your point, the state statute doesn't require us to have a council member on it. It's our bylaws that do.
Okay.
So
Okay, so if any council members or future council members want to join the Planning Commission,
I'd love to.
let me know. It's a great group, so, and hopefully, even Mo might consider staying on the Planning Commission, so.
I just gonna ask, do we need to turn in an application? Can you just roll with
for you,
it? For me?
yeah, we might be able to make an exception. I don't know. She's the one who makes appointments, not me.
Yeah. Do I need to make a motion for that?
I don't know the time frame.
Not on this agenda.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll put something together for
Yes,
the
please
vacancy.
stay on that, Mo, for as long as you want. And then we'll also maybe have a council member join the Planning Commission as well. So then that would fill the Planning Commission, which would be
Yes.
really nice.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you for the update.
Yeah.
Cable Commission, I think same scenario, but,
We have that.
okay, thank you.
But she is going to stay, and it's
On
in
the
line
cable
with
commission
it's in
as
line
well.
with there's no problems with her staying as our representative there.
Perfect. The DDA, Jacob?
Kimberly, would you like to come up? Meetings are ongoing. I know that we have, we had a business opening, this month. I believe it's, is it an art studio?
Oh, Whimsy, yeah,
Yeah,
that's this weekend.
And other than that, there are Rod is putting together essentially a historic tour. He is, I guess, it's in pilot phase right now, so he's testing it out with various different folks and looking to get, sorry, go ahead.
No, please. I was gonna add in after you're done.
Yeah, looking to start to offer that. It's still in the works, but I thought it was something really exciting that we should at least mention and kind of get people excited about.
Yeah, they had a couple dates they had to reschedule from May. Unfortunately, there's been some changes with NODA that they're no longer able to use NODA vehicles for the event, so they will have to use the trolley begrudgingly. The problem with that, however, is the trolley is currently in the shop. So we're just working out some dates. They do have groups already prepared and ready to go for the pilot.
Great. Yeah.
Just to add on for DDA and NODA, federal law does not permit publicly owned federal funded vehicles to be used for private purposes.
So while it seems like a change to NODA, it's actually NODA being in compliance with all the new things that have shifted over the last few months. However, NODA can still operate vehicles that are owned separately. So since the DDA owns the trolley, we can partner with them for drivers and continue that. But that's where it stops. We can't just rent a NODA shuttle because it's partially supported with federal funds, but the trolley is not. So while we voted to adopt it, it was already law, so like we couldn't just not follow the law, if that makes sense.
The DDA, isn't this a DDA event, which is public? Not-
It is. I think they wanted to use a NODA vehicle and have a NODA driver drive the NODA vehicle who happens to be on one of our committees, just to kind of integrate from a community standpoint, but
There was talks about charging, it was a private type event, so there's no special charters or anything, we're just kind of not permitted.
Gotcha.
If we don't own the vehicle. Luckily, we own a vehicle, it's not the most reliable one, but we have it, so.
minor details.
I'm sure there's a lot more intricacies that I am not explaining well, but that's the general synopsis.
Yeah, thank you. Anything further, Kimberly? Going on with the
Well, I don't want
DDA?
to stop, but Jacob's got on a roll here.
Well, did you want to talk about any of the projects?
I want you to talk about it. I'm
Um,
here for you.
So obviously we have the gazebo project as well too, that's commencing, and then sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. We got the bids on last week on the 30th, the same day that the village got their bids. So that will be going to our board on the 21st for review. It came in a lot higher than we were expecting, so we do have to revise our plan.
I think that's probably it. Unless oh, yeah, the crosswalks.
Yeah.
You can skip that.
Oh, no, you like it.
Well, yeah,
You'll
Mo,
like
you're
it.
gonna like this update.
Listen, you get to leave on a good note here.
Yeah, so we don't, the MDOT has some issues with where we want to put the crosswalks, so we're having to rethink that.
Or 140.
Yeah, we
So-
do not, we do not have approval from MDOT for the crosswalk portion, so again, going to the
We
board
just
on the
approved
21st
3.
about
Seemed
whether
like
to
a
move
pretty good
forward
contract.
with the project minus the
Might
crosswalk
want to give you a
piece.
good.
Yeah, and that was all
Maybe using the money from the crosswalks with the gazebo, or is that not?
No, unfortunately, there's not enough there. The
Try-
savings from the
try,
crosswalk was
backyard.
much smaller than we were expecting. It was.
I am part
Because this is.
Back at the backyard in Richmond.
Oh, I can hug you.
Maybe you have to meet.
Okay.
Backyard living, oh yeah.
And
Backyard
then last
living
but not least,
in Richmond.
congratulations for the Spirit of Main Street.
Mr. Frank.
Thanks,
Futon,
thank you.
T-R-U,
Yes, I don't know if you saw that we got a shout
C-A-N-O.
out from our senator in Michigan,
Oh,
so that was
I
pretty
told you
exciting.
that.
We got it in the mail, we're like, what is this excitement? So, yeah, thank you very much. It was a great event. It was very surprising, but a very good surprise, so.
Wonderful, congrats, great update, thank you. Pollyanna Trail? Joe?
Well, I went to the meeting at Oxford Township and nobody was there.
So what'd you learn?
I was not late, I was a day early. And then the next day I looked up in my office and it started 45 minutes ago. And I knew it wasn't gonna last,
He
so I
was having
didn't
a
go.
rough week.
So I should get credit at least going early.
I did speak with Linda briefly. She's been doing a lot of work with resurfacing.
Yeah, a lot of projects going on. Yes, redoing the gravel, paving the gravel, rolling it, some drainage repairs. They've been doing a lot. She's been doing a lot.
Great, thank you. And then I assume the ZBA has not met?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Next, manager, staff, and attorney reports, Mr. Madore.
I really got nothing else.
Okay.
Taxes went out, everything was good. There's a lot of people using the Doxo, the free option, which is really nice.
Great,
That's about it.
wonderful, thanks.
All is well, thank you.
Okay. All right, council comments. Ashley?
Welcome, Regina. Thank you, Mom. I missed you already. I know we're not supposed to say new business, but can we raise this flag up before our next meeting?
Oh my,
Big
yeah, I suppose so.
screening.
It does not look good.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
Oh,
Jacob?
It's coming on soon.
Welcome to our new member. Glad to have you aboard. Nothing other than that.
Allison?
Again, welcome. I'm very excited to work with you. And Mo, I gave my sappy comments last time, so you'll still have to watch on OCTV.
I'm not good at it, okay.
I echo the same sentiments, and with that, I will move to adjourn at 7:45.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any nays?